I'm thinking tonight. I'll take all the last time, baby. Won't you teach me? Baby, so it's been think of how we made love almost anywhere. And I'm taking you almost everywhere. Think of all the things that we shared the night, me not. Oh, gotta stay away, gotta stay away. You can have it, I'll do all I can to keep you satisfied. So just in case I'll make it tonight, baby. I'm tonight. Oh, I made you feel so special that you ran up, held your hand, never letting go, let you hold, keep the next. But try, baby, all you need and more is all I. I'll shine your even when I'm gone, love will carry on. Just that strong soul. Make it hard, baby. Last I just my everything, my everything, my life, so happens to me. There's something I need. Like the last, I'm gonna make it home. I'm gonna make it home. I want you to know, just you're my heart, you're my soul, you're just next to home. Just in case, baby,
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Coach Booker, in the building, man. Hey, listen, man, we back at it again, man. We took the holiday off. Hopefully, everybody had a great holiday, man. July 4th weekend, man. Always a good opportunity to just sit back and chill. Unfortunately, man, sometimes you can't get out there in big crowds anymore, man, because you never know if these knuckleheads are going to be acting up, man. Unfortunately, we live in that world right now where you can't go to the big crowds, you can't go to the big celebrations anymore because you just don't know, what kind of day folks are having, man. And the guys are running around, man, pulling the trigger, shooting in crowds. And we don't want to subject our families nor ourselves to any of that mess. So hopefully everybody had a great holiday, man. We've been off. We took the holiday off, man. We didn't do any shows, man. But we got some content. Got a lot of stuff coming up. And we're going to talk about that, what's coming up with On the Line podcast, On the Line sports media, and On the Line After Dark. We do have a lot of content coming up. That's what we do. We really don't take any time off. We may not get online, but we don't take any time off. So we really do. One thing I wanted to do is really, like I always do, is thank everyone for liking, sharing, and subscribing to our YouTube channel, liking following our Facebook page. If you haven't followed, man, or if you know guys that haven't followed, man, we're gonna be doing a lot of stuff. I'll tell you a little bit about that. So, On the Line Sports Media is gonna be out in the sports world, man. We're gonna be out mainly in the youth football world. They got an OTB tournament coming up. The OTB, only the best. If you don't know anything about it, go to ETV Spotlight. Follow them on Facebook. They have a huge tournament, one of the biggest tournaments in the country right now for youth football, man. They have over 80-something teams for this tournament, man. That's only the best youth football tournament, man. Ages 6 all the way to 13, man. Y'all, and I think the tournament is going to be in Spartanburg. Like I said, if you want to really get all the information, you want to go to their Facebook page at ETV Spotlight and find out what's going on. And what we're gonna do, man. I'm excited that On the Line Sports Media has partnered up with ETV Spotlight. We've partnered up with ETV Spotlight. We're gonna do their brackets right here live in the studio. We're gonna have both of the founders of OTB. We're gonna have them both here in the studio, man. I can't wait. We're gonna have them both here in the studio, and they're gonna do all their brackets. So if you want to know who you're gonna play, what time the game start, all the information. If you want to know all the information about the times, the location, what teams are gonna play, how to keep up with the brackets, we're gonna do that live on. I want to say it's on the 22nd. Don't confirm that. We're going to put it out there. We're going to do a promo. We're going to do a promo that tells you everything about the time and the date for the OTB bracket pairings. But we're going to do it live right here in studio, man. I'm excited. We're also going to interview those guys. They're very influential guys in the community. They do a lot for you football here in the community. We're going to conduct an interview with those guys, exclusive interview with Day and Leon Brown, man. You don't want to miss these interviews. It's going to be powerful, man, because it's raw and uncut, man. So, but those guys have done a lot for the community. So you really want to hear, what inspires them and what keeps them going and what kind of made them want to reach out to the state of North Carolina and push the way that they do. So to get the kids out and the families together. So listen, we're going to do that OTB. And then we're going to be on site. So on the Lines team, On the Line Sports Media team, we're going to go to Spartanburg. And we're going to do live from Spartanburg. We're going to do player interviews. We're going to be interviewing the coaches. We're going to talk to the coaches before the games. We're going to talk to the coaches at halftime. We're going to talk to the coaches after the game. Someone probably ain't going to want to talk after the game, but you know how that works. They probably ain't going to want to talk. But we're going to try to talk to them anyway. We're going to – it's an event, man. So what they have going on is not just a tournament. It's an event. I was talking to one of those guys that run the tournament, man. The OTB tournament, and I keep saying tournament, the OTB event is one of the biggest in the state, and definitely they top out in the nation as one of the top teams in the nation. 80-something teams plus competing to see who's going to be number one. That's outstanding right here in the Carolinas. to put that show on. So we're gonna do that. Also, we're also gonna have a middle school coaches show. So we're gonna have a middle school coaches show every week. This is not happened in Charlotte, North Carolina, man, where we got a middle school coach. We got a middle school coaches show every every week. We're gonna tell you what the scores were. We're gonna what the scores are. We're gonna tell you what the who played who. We're gonna tell you how well the kids played. We're gonna announce the player of the week each week. We're gonna tell you, who's hot, who's not in middle school football. We're not just guess what? We're not just gonna do it for Charlotte, North Carolina. We're gonna try to do it. We're trying to connect all the dots, just like OTB did, just like Gridiron 704 did. We're gonna connect all the dots, man, and we're gonna get Cabarrus County. We're gonna get Cabarrus County. We're gonna get Gaston County. We're gonna get Guilford County. We're gonna get all the counties, and we're gonna pull them together, and we're gonna try to make middle school. Hey, we're gonna make middle school great again. I like saying that. So we're gonna make middle school great again. Yeah, in my Donald Trump voice. Yeah. So we're gonna be doing that. So we're gonna be doing that on the lines, sports media, middle school coaches show. You don't want to miss that. And I think Matt Morrow, and he's got that high school stuff covered, all those games, and that's exciting. We're gonna dive into some of the high school stuff too, but we're gonna mainly focus on middle school. So we're gonna get everybody up to speed on all the sports, man. That's awesome, right? So we'll be doing that with the middle schools. We're gonna get out to the OTB tournament. Let me see if I covered it. OTB tournament. We're gonna yeah, we're gonna do all that. We're gonna do all that. So we're gonna be very involved, man. So look for all of our content, and then we're gonna be doing some other fun things in the community. But what we need you to do right now, if you're listening, go to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. All you gotta do is go to YouTube and subscribe. That's it. Push the button. All you gotta do, go to On the Lines Podcast and hit subscribe. That's it. It's just that simple. Go to Facebook, hit follow. That's it. It's just that simple, man. It's just that simple. So listen, what we're gonna do tonight, though, man, we got our regular couple panel guests, man, is gonna come on, man. And then we're gonna talk to a couple guys that's very influential in the community, been very influential for a long time in the community, man. And people just like to hear, what's going on, what's coming up, what these guys have planned for their local organizations, man. So we're gonna bring them on as well. Mr. Mo Evans, who is the AYF president, Charlotte AYF, and Mr. Reggie Ellerby, he's the AYF president, and Winston-Salem, man. And these guys, they competitive too. They competitive, so we're gonna bring them on. They talk trash to each other, man. Talk about who's gonna be who and all that, man. But anyway, the shakedown happens in the state championship game, so forget all that other mess. But we're gonna talk to those guys, man. So because they're super important to hear from, man. So let me bring on Coach Tony, man. Man, you probably let me add him to the stage real quick, man. So coming to the stage right now, man, I got my man Tony C, man, one of the most influential coaches in the youth community, man. He's been out here for years, but he done got the big head, man, to move to high school. So he got the big head. So he moved to high school football. I don't know if he's breaking bread with the youth community anymore, man. But he's one, man. Hey, one of the guys who go around, man, and he makes sure he break bread with all the youth guys around here, man, regardless of whether he's involved. This is my man Tony C in the building. What's up?
Good afternoon, brother.
What's up, man? Yeah, man. Yeah. And then I got a couple other guys, man. Same guys I told you, man. It's hard to get these guys on the line, man. You know why, man? Because these guys are so busy all the time, man. They busy, man. They look working. I'm sure they work. full-time jobs, full-time wives, doggone, and always doing something in the community, man, in communities, man. Places. So we got my man coming on all the way from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, man. The president, AYF community, man, a community, AYF, Winston-Salem organization. It's Reggie Ellerby in the building, man. What's up, Reg?
Hey, what's up, Book? What's going on?
Thank you, the husband and wife name and run.
Hey, Mo, mute your mic, man. You get on here all good.
Mo can't stop. He can't stop working. Look at him.
Hey,
Mo,
hey,
what are you
Mo probably,
doing, man?
Mo probably someone on the field coach.
Hey, Mo, mute your hickey, Aaron. Wait, what's going on?
What's happening?
I didn't get invited to that. I mean, what's up?
What's up, everybody? How everybody doing?
Yeah, man. Hold up, man. It's my man. Look, this is Mo Evans. Everybody know this cat, man. This cat is one of the most influential guys in the youth community, man. He's been around for years, man, making sure he break bread with these guys. He's sending guys to college. He's sending guys to freaking making sure they get to the right high schools. And he got some guys in the NFL, too. So this is my man. He's always busy, always getting it done. It's my man. Mo Evans in the building, man.
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody?
The great Mo Evans. You gotta put great in front of that book. You gotta put
Yeah,
man. Hey, man. I thank Booker for even having us on, man. You know, we appreciate that, man.
Hey,
Man,
Mo, I said the
whatever,
same thing. Hey, I said the same thing. Hey, we on the line. I can't believe it. And we got Tony, Coach Tony. I ain't seen him forever. Hey,
Booker,
Yeah.
I got a confession, man.
Uh-oh.
So look,
Go ahead.
I want to put it out here. I've been on here probably about 3-4 episodes with you.
Yeah.
And I've been rambling off names of the guys in coaching, especially in the Charlotte area and region.
Yeah.
And I have not mentioned Mo Evans. I want to apologize to you personally, Mo.
Oh, it's all good, brother.
I will tell you this, man. The reason that I got into high school coaching actually is because Mo Evans.
Okay.
So Mo Evans was the guy that gave me a call and said, Tony, what you gonna do with this football thing? Told me where to meet him at, told me he had an opportunity for me, and we were able to win some games and accomplish some goals. So I appreciate that guy. Not only what he did for me, man, but what he's doing and continue to do for the community. You know, not even with just high school, man. We went down to Florida and played in some national championship games. So anytime Mo make that call or he need my services, I'm gonna be there.
That's what's up, man. That's why I got these guys on, man. They more than just regular guys, man. You know what? You got to give guys like this, man, they flowers. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it was a guy. I don't know if it was Charleston White, man. He's crazy as heck. He said, man, you usually don't get all your flowers, man, until you land in the casket. Everybody be like, man, you know, they hate on you, man. They never really love on you like they should, and give you your flowers, man. And they don't really give you that affirmation, man, that you're getting it done until it's too late, man. So I want to make sure that I get these guys on early, man, because they're gonna get real busy here real soon if they're not all busy already. And give y'all guys y'all's flowers, man, because y'all do not go unnoticed. I spent a lot of time in the youth community, man, and I broke bread with both of you guys, man, and the work that it takes for AYF organization, Winston-Salem, huge, to come together, man, every year. And AYF Charlotte to come together, and the work that has to be put in and the people you have to get around you to structure those organizations, man. It's an amazing body of work that you guys have to do, and you do it from year to year, which leads into my first question. And either one of you can tackle this. I ask you first, Reggie, because Winston-Salem really Winston-Salem inspired me to do what I did in the community with the Winston-Salem Indians. And I think back then it was the Falcons and it was the Greyhounds and all those teams back there, man. Really, really groundbreaking grassroots programs, and some of them are still going, some of them not, some of them's consolidated. But let me ask you, Reggie, what actually inspires you from year to year to do this, man? Because it can be a headache with all the different personalities and there's some characters involved. But what inspires you as the leader of that organization, man, to just do it from year to year?
Well, you know, I really believe it's about the kids, right? It's about the community, giving back to all the athletes. But not only that, sometime long ago, you know, seeing people like Mo, meeting people like yourself, coaches, right? You know, that really get it, that know they why, you know, that's been able to coach these kids from little league, seeing them grow and develop to high school players. Some of them going to play college, some of them make it to the pros, but they're productive citizens, right? Once they leave us, and we get to see the impact that we have. But that's really what, you know, really, really why I do it, year in and year out. You know, I still feel good, still feel like I can contribute somewhat. So with that being said, it's really just giving back to the community, pouring into just sharing my knowledge with coaches, with volunteers, and then being able to have an impact on the kids.
Well, it's great to hear you say the one thing I got from what you just said when you talked about the follow up, watching them kids go through not just go through the youth, your program, your organization at AYF Winston, but knowing what they're doing even after that in high school and possibly some of them going to the NFL and just taking pride in knowing that they came through your program. So that's big time because I think that matters a lot to the kids when they know, Mr. Ellaby, I'm sure they call you, or Coach Ellaby, because you used to be a coach. You wasn't that good at coaching, but you used to be.
I was decent. I'm decent. Hey, I'm coming back. I'm telling you what, I might join the All-Star staff. I want Mo to get an All-Star team because I own one.
Mo, you heard it. The challenge is on the table. It's coming. Reg, you know what? You always throw that out there, that challenge. You always do that. But I like that because you got to have that competitive spirit in doing this. But because I remember the Bobcats. Come on now.
Yeah. But I tell you, I took pride in the
Bobcat.
fact that we did the right way. The way I feel like it is, we coached every kid that came out there. And, seeing those kids now where they started and where they are, on this last class that I saw graduate high school, now they're productive in the college arena, doing their thing. But really just, I remember when we finally won, it was the D2 state championship. We were still waiting then. That's when it was Pee Wee and Junior Pee Wee. And having them kids, taking some of them kids down to Florida for nationals for the first time. They've never been there, so it was an experience. And just remembering, and they remember that to this day. So it's good to see. But yeah, that's what we're supposed to do, right? We coach the kids up. We coach whoever we get. And, we do the best that we can. But, the Bobcats, Book, really, we share Book. We tell Book all the time he's honorary Piedmont, Winston-Salem.
Yeah.
For so long because, he was the only one coming out of Charlotte.
Yeah.
He even adopted Tony, too. Tony was with you for a little
Tony
while.
was riding with me, too. Hey,
I know. That's what I said.
I couldn't have done it without guys like Tony on my sideline. I ain't going to lie about that now.
Actually, I knew
the dynamic duo.
Yeah. Actually, I think I owe Mo and Tony because if I remember correctly, that was the All-Star team that beat mine. And across the field, all I heard was Mo Evans saying, "You can't stop it, Reggie. You can't stop it." So that's I think I owe him one or two.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. So the one other thing I wanted to mention, man, because all the times that I've gone to the Nationals, right, and I didn't know you had as much involvement in the national participation. You and Mobo, man, that's why I said I have to give you your flowers, man, because at some point you got to take time out of what you do from Charlotte and take your show on the road. You're not coaching. You really don't have a dog in the fight other than, of course, you over whatever teams that's in your organization. Of course, you support them. They compete, man. But that says a lot about you guys, too, man, because you don't just do it in your city. You take it on the road to Florida, man, and volunteer in Florida, man. And so that means you got a whole lot more teams and more volunteers and people you got to interact with, man. And to see y'all get involved in that and and that comes together, man. I got to give y'all flowers for that too. Now to Mo, same question with you, man. What kind of inspires you, and what kind of inspires you to continue to do that here in Charlotte? And, I know some of these Charlotte characters, so I know I know a lot about them, and it takes a lot to get it done from year to year, man. What kind of inspires you to continue to do it?
I think it's like when you're walking in the grocery store with your family and you see a 22-year-old man come up to you and tell you how much you meant to him and how much you changed his life, and this how you being a part of this young man's life has helped him to become a successful man.
Right.
That type fulfilling, getting that type feeling, and just living through these young fellas, man. And our current climate and culture that we have in Charlotte, violence seems to be the key. Shooting seems to be the key. But when we get out here and we raise, the ones that go to the NFL, that's great. But it's a whole lot of other ones that just become successful young men. And we just as proud as them as we are anybody that makes athletic contributions.
Absolutely.
Because, hey man, we raising young men, successful members of our society, and that's what we're here for. All of them ain't gonna be great football players, but it's the ones that's got a good job and help taking care of his mama, and the one that started a business and just want to give back. Those are the kids that's the most fulfilling, man. The kids that tell you, they wouldn't have made it if it wasn't for somebody like you. And I know you all you guys get that same thing, and you run across your old kids and they tell you how much you meant to them, man. That's what keeps you going because you don't want to miss that. You don't want to miss out on that opportunity to help the next kid out. And that kind of powers you and keep you running, man.
That's awesome, and that's very, 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 very gratifying. Okay,
Hey, I
go ahead.
got Reg and Mo, if you don't mind. Is that all right?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna start with you, Reg. So, and I'm gonna make a statement, ask you a question also. So, in the time that I've been knowing and been around you, one thing I admire about you personally is your composure and the way you carry yourself in this environment.
Absolutely.
I've never seen you get out of character. I don't even know if you get out of character. But the reason why I asked that question is, what would you say to younger guys in youth football and how important it is to maintain that certain level of dignity and respect about yourself and, respect your organizations as well as the game and the youth football?
Man, first I want to say thank you, but that takes years, right? I remember when I first was coaching, it was a flag game, and I got a parent was in earshot, and that was probably the only time I came out of character. And one of my mentors, he was actually one of my high school coaches. He was there. He pulled me to the side, and he said, "Man, never let them see you come out of character, because then they got you, right?" But that's the same thing I noticed that was going on. So I just try to lead by example. I try to tell some of these young guys, like, nobody's going to pay attention to you if you're doing all this shouting, if you're doing all of this, yelling at the refs every time. If you come to them with the respect, because you want respect, right? So you give respect to gain respect. But I really just try to lead by example and let, my actions do all the talking.
Cool. Mo, I got a question for you, man.
Well, let's go.
Same thing. I see you guys that a lot of people know, but a lot of people don't know who are the people who keep together youth football in this region, right? And if I'm talking to people from South Carolina to Georgia, to Tennessee to Virginia, one thing they'll say is that youth ball in North Carolina is on a different level. And I wouldn't say when I started that it was on that level, but I can say because of guys like you, because you keep your hands on it, that it's on that level. What would you say the issues that you guys may face, you or more directly, in Charlotte, with keeping football intact, the youth football game?
The key in Charlotte, Tony, in my eyes, is you got to make the people trust you. You got to let them know that you're gonna do right by them, by their organization. You're gonna always hold the league in high standard. And if you do that, the people will come with you. I found over my years that I built this thing with my friends. The guys that end up being the president of these teams, they end up being friends of mine. And that's kind of was my secret. We became friends, and that made it a lot easier to work together. Charlotte is a tough place to maintain. It's a ever changing climate, man. It's always something new happening. There's always something else popping. A lot of disloyalty, but to maintain around here, man, you just got to be yourself. If you be yourself and you be true to what you say and true to what you do, the people will come back to you, and they'll be there. And that's always been my secret, man. I'm just a country boy, man. I don't know nothing else. I just be true and as real as I can, and treat people like they're somebody. And
Yeah, you definitely.
that's been my secret.
Yeah, you're a big countryman. Where you from?
Lamar, South Carolina.
Yeah. Your country's hell. Yeah. So I do want to
Born and
emphasize.
raised, man. Born and raised.
I wasn't gonna say that, but yeah. But you definitely keep it country. But country works. Country works.
It's me, man. I can't be nothing else, man.
Hey, listen. Nothing like being genuine, bro. Because you're right. If you're a genuine guy and you're a genuine leader, and these guys trust you, two perfect things that you said is being genuine and being trustworthy, man. People will gravitate to you every time. That's a win every time, man, as a leader and in this community, man. So I think I got another question for Reg, man, because this.
Hey, book. Before you do that, can I get me throw another one at me, man? Because I got to go into this dinner real quick.
Okay. Oh, you gotta go eat. Hickory Tavern.
Yeah.
What you
How
gonna
you
eat?
doing, minute? My people waiting on me.
Oh, what you having a meeting?
Yeah.
You having an AYF meeting?
No. That's my coaches, my team.
So but you're doing work. You're doing work. I'm gonna let Tony hit you with another. I know he got one.
Yeah, I do. Actually, I do. So, along the lines of the last question that I asked you, what do you think that we can do in this area? Because it is important to me to make it more about working together and less competitive amongst the people who are involved in the sports here. Because I asked that question because, like Red said, I've competed with everybody on this podcast currently, but I've also worked with everybody on here. What do you think we do to get everybody to work together outside of the football field competition?
Right.
Well, Tony, to me, man, where the trouble started in Charlotte is the fly-by-night guys. The guys that I just can start my own team and somebody gonna let me in their league, somebody gonna let me play. After 10 years of that happening, it kind of infests Little League football in Charlotte. And until we get rid of some of those people, we still gonna always have the same problem. Everybody don't deserve to run an organization. Everybody ain't made to run an organization. There's no money in Little League football. I don't care what they tell you. So people get into it for the wrong reasons. They're not sincere about what they do. They're not real about what they do, and they cut too many corners. That causes a black eye on everybody, and it puts a stain on what we're doing. So we have to kind of eliminate some of the riffraff a little bit and get down to the people that's real, that's here for the football and for the betterment of the kids. I think we can cut out a few of the people that don't need to be here. I think it'll make it much better in Charlotte.
Let me ask you real quick. Before you go, do you feel like you have the necessary people around you and support staff around you to make those things happen, to connect those dots, to eliminate all the mediocrity that's in youth sports? Do you feel like you have the leadership around you to make that happen, or do you have to kind of reinvent yourself and get some other influential guys that kind of inspire to lead like you?
I think we can get it done if everybody came together all the power players, influential guys in Little League football, sat down at one table, we can absolutely straighten out Little League football in Charlotte. But it would be taking some people checking their egos, some people being able to be, to be a good chief, you got to be a good Indian.
Right.
So, it's going to take some people that they're going to have to take a few back seats and and sit back and let's see how it rolls, man. Because
Right.
we got the people here, man. We just got to put them in place.
Right.
We just got to put them in place, man. It's the best city in the world, man. I don't take nothing from Charlotte, North Carolina, bro. I love it to death. It gave me so much. So, I believe in this city and I believe in its people.
Good deal, man. Well, we don't want to
So,
hold you. We don't want to
yeah,
hold
I'm
you much.
gone, man. Hey,
You
for my
got
people
to.
who vote on me, man. Hey, man, Keith,
Right.
Tony, love y'all, man. Reg, love you.
Appreciate
Love
Appreciate
you,
y'all,
bro.
man. I
Appreciate you
couldn't do
coming
this,
on.
and I wouldn't be who I was without y'all guys. And y'all
All right.
know that, man.
We're going to see you soon, man. Hey,
All
have a
right,
good
man.
week.
Be good.
Reg, don't go nowhere. You in the
I'm
hot.
not going nowhere. Hey,
All
I'm
right.
good. I'm good. I was gonna say, I was just gonna piggyback off what Mo said though. I was gonna say that word, that ego word, is like kind of like you were saying, Tone. If people could actually get out their own way, it doesn't matter if it's Mo leading the charge, Book leading the charge, or Tony. It doesn't matter. If we come together, we really can accomplish great things. It doesn't matter who wants to be out in front. A lot of times, I try to be on the background because again, as long as we're successful, that's a win to me. So it doesn't matter who gets the credit, who's out leading the charge or whatever, but if we do, some of those egos, man. So
Well, the thing about it, though, is we talk about the egos. I think guys like you and guys like Mo have by now a good discernment on who are the most influential guys you think you can go after to kind of be around you. I think because so let me ask you this. How do you feel like same question to you? Do you feel like you have a good enough support staff or do you have to reinvent that support staff to kind of fix some of those things and kind of consolidate the two organizations together like Charlotte and Winston, like Tony was saying, without competing, just kind of fixing the state of youth football from Winston Salem to Charlotte, kind of fixing that.
yeah. So what I do is I feel like I have a let me first say I got a great support team, but I'm always trying to find people when I see it. You see something in somebody and you're like, oh, that'll be great on this team to try to help do community outreach. You try to put people where they can be successful, where we could be successful at. And one of the things that we do, so I'm be honest, for me personally, I'm pulling for everybody. And Mo is too, and some of our other presidents. So when we get on the phone and we're talking, that's really what we want. We really want to really come together. So my goal is to make AYF the biggest thing in the state of North Carolina. And pretty much we've accomplished that. We still have, I'd say North Carolina is probably 70% AYF, and then, you got the others, right? But my goal is I really want us to be 90%. I really, and to do that, we all have to work together. And not only on the field, but off the field. So I think doing more things together as far as more outreach programs, reaching out to community, whether it's, okay, Mo, asking Mo, what does he need to be successful? Because if you ever notice, the first thing my team will do when we come to Charlotte is, hey, where y'all need help at? And vice versa. And I think that's how you build that family atmosphere to be able to trust one another and know that, there's no egos involved. So the answer your question, we're always trying to find people to help us. But I think here in Winston, especially, I got a good support staff and, I've got a lot of groups that I can reach it, tap into to help us accomplish great things.
Right.
I think, man, a lot of times in our community, I think we're plagued with this get it out the mud mentality. And a lot of that to me causes us to be individualized and selfish in a lot of ways. And I will say for me, is success I've had when it came to sports. My ego said Pete Booker, Reggie Ellaby, and Mo Evans. right? But I'm nowhere as near as a good coach that I can be if I involve or attach myself to these people. And I think that's one of the things, like LB was saying, man, that people have to understand. Like, you have to work with some other people who are good at what they do in order for you to be successful. You know, like I've worked with Coach Clark, who just came on. If I have something that's going on, there's a level
What's up?
area of expertise for him, I'm calling on him. And I think that's what, a lot of younger guys coming in that's doing a great job got to do, man. They got to, use those resources. Because I think Mo is probably the most senior guy in youth football right now, isn't he?
Yes. Yes, he is.
That should be a go-to guy. I feel like the rites of passage should be, if I'm starting the organization, I should go to Mo for insight. As opposed to, I don't like those guys, I'm starting my own organization to beat them, Because like you said, a lot of those end up being fly-by-night, one season organization. And a lot of the people run from AYF, which we know from history is that's what a competition is. But then because AYF might have a certain level of structure that people want to put in place for their organizations, not knowing that structure is for stability and also the protection of the organization and the kids, like that's what's needed. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like I said, it has to be projected. It's like, this is what you guys need in order to be successful, as opposed to just getting on the internet and bragging about a game that you want.
Man, talk about it, man. Talk about it. Boy, that social media is a gift and a curse.
Ruined
a gift and a curse.
Hey, let me do this. Hey, what's up, man? We got my man Philando Clark, man. He's been in the youth community for 4 years with the Beatty Sports Saints, man, with us, man, the Mid Hill Mountaineers. He's now, of course, like I said about Tony, these guys got the big head now, man. They're in high school football, man. Really, it's a privilege to have. It's a privilege to have these guys on. You know what I mean?
But that's what you want to see. Everybody want to growth, right?
Yeah.
Hey, look, as they done everything they can on the youth level, they learned, and now look, they sought after on the high school level.
Yeah, but I still gotta get them a little punch in the gut, man.
Because he in middle school.
I'm on behalf of Coach Clark.
Yeah, I was gonna say you gonna get to the big table one day.
One day, man. One day.
Here's the thing, Coach Clark, because I know Coach Clark wasn't sitting around calling schools, interviewing, asking, "Do you need a strength and conditioning coach?" I can tell you that.
I can tell you that too.
I can tell you what happened. This guy's available, and he's the best guy around here. Period. Point blank. And that's because of relationships. And like you both said, that's about being just and being right to people and people around you, to the point where if somebody's going to have to say something about you, they're going to have to say the real. And the real is going to always get you to the place you need to be. And that's the information that I think the people need, the younger people, the people that really want to have a future in football. It's not about you being this and being a me thing. I'm doing the work.
It's about building solid relationships, man.
Yeah.
That's got me everything I've ever gotten out of this sport, outside of coaching, like training, and it's relationships I've built, man, and cultivate them. And I never burn no bridges, man. I'm wise enough to see if it's going south to just walk away for a minute instead of killing it. You know what I mean? Because it can come back. And this job came to me. I didn't seek it out. So, yeah, man. That's if we could teach kids one thing about this thing, coaching thing, and we all know coaching is large, but it's a small fraternity. Everybody knows each other. If somebody don't know you, it's probably 2 to 3 degrees of separation from coaches around here. So trust me, if you're doing the right thing, it's gonna be heard. If you're doing the wrong thing, it's definitely gonna be heard. So, and I was just kind of going back to what y'all was saying when I walked in, kind of like it seemed like we were talking about like the fundamentals of this thing, coaching and teaching them the fundamentals, man. I can say this with Tony and with Booker, kids that came through Beatty Sports Saints organization, they were fundamentally sound. They got the high school ready, and I think that was the direct reflection of pre social media. No social media, right? It was very at the infancy stage, so people weren't really It wasn't a rah-rah thing, but you know, we took pride in coaching these kids, man, and getting them ready and watching these kids leave from the youth organization and basically surpassing middle school and going straight to high school and balling, you know. And I think these kids, these coaches now, obviously younger, and they've seen a different type of football than we've seen growing up. You know, they've seen West Coast and the speed and option and all this stuff. So these younger guys, they haven't seen the football we've seen, the basic fundamental football of getting under the center and, you know, teaching blocking and all that shit. So to me, that was one of the reasons I walked away, because it was almost like you were trying to force something on these kids that they're not even ready for. You know, just because you see it on Madden or whatever in college, if you see it in college, chances are that kids playing college been playing football for 10 to 12 years. So he's developed a skill set to be able to play in the gun, ace all the time. You know what I'm saying? When it bugs me when I see kids and, you know, 7 years old and shotgun. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, it's tough.
When it gets down to it, we all know this. We've been around football long enough. If it's a tight game, when it gets down to it, ball security is a must. That means you need to get up under that center and run between the tackles and force your will. You see what I'm saying? I saw this happen this past season with West Charlotte and Mallet Creek. Mallet Creek had the ball in the 1 yard line, first and goal.
I was there.
And lost the game.
Because of
and lining up 6-7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
All you need is 1 yard.
Fall for it.
Yep. And let me ask you, Reg, let me ask you a question. We tackled this topic on one of our podcasts one week. How do you feel about kids and organizations playing year-round football? What do you think? Is there a big? What do you think the benefit, or even if there is a benefit, do you condone it? Do you support it? Does it make sense?
Me personally, I don't. Now, you know, I like to brag that we're one of the biggest, if not biggest, youth football cheerleague conferences in North Carolina, right?
Certainly.
And you know, we're 10 days out from our quote unquote first official practice. Mm-hmm. And I think about those kids that started playing, they have no downtime because they go straight from the spring ball and the tournaments. I mean, it's 97 degrees, you know, outside. And, you know, I'm thinking like, man, they don't have no time for proper rest. So I don't run spring league. You know, what I've been trying to do here is get 7-on-7 off the ground. That's more for our skills and development, you know. But me personally, I tell people, let these kids go play other sports. Facts. Let them go be kids. Let them rest. Let their bodies rest, because especially some coaches, not all coaches, I won't even, you know, but sometimes they're running a kid all fall. Then they're running the same kid all spring instead of letting their second team get better. You know, they're trying to win a spring championship that means absolutely nothing. Because you don't have all your players. You just bragging rights for anything, right? And so I don't believe in it. I believe that during that time you should be focused on the off season, treat it as such. If you're not going to play another sport, there's nothing wrong with going out here, you know, depending on the age, but just going conditioning, investing in a training coach, speed, agility coach, you know, give them a little workout routine to do, let them get better, let them do some 7-on-7 tournaments where, you know, they're getting better. Me personally, I've just never been a big fan of year-round football. I see it. A lot of these kids, by the time they get burnt out too quick now. By the time you look at some of these kids, they're not even playing football in high school, you know. Then the product, again, the product isn't going to be the same that you see in spring that you see in fall. And that's why I say I'm just not a big fan of it. And also, as a coach, you want to use that time to get better. And I don't see a lot of people, and I'm not calling nobody out, but I just don't see a lot of coaches get better. I don't see kids getting better. I just see, hey, we're going to go out here and try to win this. And a lot of times, you know, I see sometimes spring ball will hurt an association. They'll lose kids because of the experience they have for spring. So, long story short, I'm not a big fan of it.
So let me
Right.
ask you, Rich, how does that spring ball direct? I mean, in fact, like AYF in the fall direct in a negative way. Like, what are the negatives to that?
So I think the negative is, like, I was kind of, so again, by me not being affiliated with Spring, people still think that because a lot of our teams are still doing it, it's not like they changed their name, so they think that's an AYF product.
Right.
So everything from the cost of admission, to get into games is different. Our protocols that we might have, everything is different. So the experience is different. And when they had that negative experience, they're gonna say, I'm not bringing my kid back.
Right.
I'm not gonna do this, that, and the other because of, and I get phone calls to Spring. I'd be like, man, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I try to
Association.
I try to stay away from it a lot of times because the time I come out there, people think that, hey, I got something to do with it.
You're affiliated.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, nah. So, but they had that negative experience. So the parent is already, or the child, or whoever is already turned against it. So when they enter the fall, they have an attitude, and then it's a carryover from springtime to if they even come back to that association. But I think honestly, do a 7-on-7. We're behind. Charlotte they do a great job. Y'all do a great job with 7-on-7 tournaments down that way. We haven't really been able to get it going because, again, I wasn't until, again, I learned from Mo. Mo was telling me about 7-on-7. I was like, man, I ain't a big fan of it. He's like, Reggie, that's because you like defense. He was like, but then
Right.
I started coming down and I started watching, and then I started learning more about it. I was like, yo, this is what we need to really be doing, and that's why, when it comes to high school football, I think that's why you see the separation from here to you guys.
And let me say one thing, and it also, I think the spring football can also, the negative thing in spring football could also encourage player movement. Like, there's a lot of player movement from organization to organization, and some of these guys potentially use it as a recruiting tool.
Right.
Right. And they kind of, and that within itself can cause a lot of tension even as the season approaches. It could put a lot of strain on you as a president because although the player moved during the spring or whatever, I don't know what you guys' rules are on, whether you have to play somewhere based on your geographical areas or whatever. But I got to be a strain on you with a lot of player movement. How do you kind of handle that player movement?
Hey man, I get those phone calls and I'll be like, you shouldn't have did spring ball. That's the first thing
Right.
I say.
Play what they want to play.
Yeah. I said you shouldn't have did. But I say if you do spring, you need to make sure that environment is great to bring them back. But to answer your question with the player movement, that's just a trend that we've been seeing in youth football all across the state, all across the country, as far as kids just moving, and the kid could be happy at that team, but let's face it, the parent sometimes see something over here, and they want that instant gratification. Instead, their kid is getting like you said, Coach, they're getting the fundamentals here, and they're gonna be a solid football player by the time they get to high school. Coaches aren't gonna have to worry about that kid, but instead they want to be able to. They want to send them over here to a team that's stacked. And then all of a sudden their playing time decreases. They're not getting the coaching that they deserve. So, yeah, but we do see it. So when I first started, I probably saw like, you probably saw a couple from each association. But now that stack of papers that we have to sign off on when kids move from org to org, honestly, man, it's a booklet. It's a thick book. And and then it's the hassle of, did they fulfill their financial obligations? Did they still owe this association money? Did they turn in all their equipment? Now it's like you're holding the kid hostage. I'm like, come on, man. Like, would you be worried about this if he came back to you, or are you just being, so it's all of that. So I try to tell everybody, I just had a call with all my presidents the other day, and I said, hey, look, communication is key, right? You know if a kid played with you last year or not. So if a kid signed up and he's coming from a different org, have a conversation. Same thing with coaches. If a coach is leaving, have a conversation with that org before you try to bring that coach on, because everything has to be cleared and you don't want any surprises. So always clear communication, be transparent, you know. So
Absolutely. Good answer. Flanders, you look like you might have had a
Yeah, I
comment.
was just kind of I did have a comment about the spring ball. And I've never been a fan of that. I think as long as you know me, I've known said that's not a good thing. And that's the trainer in me, because you got to think about this. If you're playing spring ball, rolling in the fall and all these things, you're probably hitting like 8 months out of the year. That's a lot of wear and tear on your body without recovery, right? And then I think that's going to lead to your body breaking down earlier, getting more injuries in high school because you're not getting any recovery time because you're constantly making contact, right? So that soft tissue you develop when you're doing drills and all that things, you're not doing it. You're not developing that. So that's why you see so many kids with career-ending injuries early, or like Coach said, they just burn out because their body's tired. You know, so I think I let my son play spring ball one time. I was like, nah, bro, we good on that. It's just it's no downtime. And I think 707 is great, but I would prefer to see a kid actually training, you know, but yeah, that's always been my knock on spring ball, man. It's just too much. It's just too much on their body at that age. And then to think about it, if you get an injury while you're hitting a growth spurt, that thing's gonna be some problems. You know,
so me, Coach, and that's why I think these conversations are very important. I was in coaching youth. I was parenting 7 or 8 kids, right? So spring ball for me was vital because that's time that these kids don't get away from me. Now I can get to come hang out at the house for a cookout or stop by and talk to them, but I know I can get everybody in one place at a football practice, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So at my age now, I view it different, but that's why I asked the questions to Mo and Coach Ellaby, because, and I always talk about like the younger coaches and the newer coaches, it's not so much you doing exactly, you know, what a coach or a coach tells you to do. It's about just taking the information, formulating, and figure out what's best for you and your organization and your kids. I think that's the most important thing, because I'm not for spring ball the way I was at that time when I was coaching. It made perfect sense to me, because kids that I had were from a demographic that if they're not playing football, they're finding trouble to find them.
Right. That's true.
So,
Correct.
So that's why, like Ellaby said, it's important for those guys at the top to, you know, try to find different things, whether it's training or camps, things to do for those kids in the off season to make sure, you know, they can get that work in.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
It makes a lot of sense, man. Yeah, you know, with our culture, with what's going on with our culture, you try to keep them in front of you and keep them redirected and kind of continue to reinforce, you know, positive things and stand in positive groups. So yeah, that's super important. That's a good mindset, but I don't know if that's the overall mindset of what's going on right now when these guys are having these springs. I don't think that's the mindset.
A lot of that, Keith, is that, you know, because it's a big recruiting game, if you go play for somebody else, you might not see them again. Like, you know, like Red said.
That's so crazy, man. That's so crazy.
But and I say this for high school, brothers. Look, if you're moving to be with somebody who's recruiting you versus somebody that you want coaching your kids, you're probably making a bad decision.
Facts.
Because there are people out here who are
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
And that's the new coaching is the recruiting. So
you gotta think about this too with that moving around thing. Like, what are you putting in that kid's head? That's where the entitlement comes from. You know, you got these kids like, oh, I can go play over here and I go play over here. Or if it gets too hard here, I can just go switch this team and I go switch. And then that's trickling all the way up to college ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I
Right.
was
So it's,
about
to
to,
me, it's
yeah.
like teaching them nothing, man. No, nothing about being resilient, fighting. Like one thing Keith always say is these kids just don't want to compete anymore.
Right.
They want it given to them. Like, come on, man. And that's why another reason why they fall off, because now they get to a spot, from where everybody's good now. Now what's going to separate you is your work ethic. You know what I'm saying? Your resilience, your ability to push through shit and compartmentalize that shit that's bothering you and put that work in. But if you're
Right.
used to jumping and jumping and jumping when shit gets hard, man, that kid that comes from nothing, you ain't got a chance against him.
Right.
Yeah.
And Reg, we're gonna let you go, man, and we appreciate you being on. But one more question, man. What can we expect out of the? Are you bringing the brooms out this year? Uh,
Mo. Mo would kill me if I said yeah. He would. Nah, I don't. I think honestly, what I see in the state is everything. And Book, you've been, all y'all have been, if you've been to nationals, we've been saying this way before it started happening. We are truly a D2 state in youth
right.
football. We have some D1 teams, and it's not a knock. It's just the way the climate for youth football is going. D1 is like travel teams, and D2 is for your really good football teams.
Right.
And then, but I say that to say that across the state, I think that it's going to be even. I don't know who's going to win what. Last year, we
Right.
didn't bring out the brooms. Actually, I think we only won a couple. We only had a handful. But I think with some of the new things that happened with AYF, I think that state championships that's going to be in Charlotte, it's going to be some fire matchups. I can guarantee you that the atmosphere is going to be electric because when I think about D1 and D2, seriously, like those games are going to be so competitive. And then, of course, with D1 now, if you win state, you being able to go right to nationals. That puts a lot on the line for these state games. So we're going to
Right.
see a lot of talent,
Mm.
I believe we're going to have some great coaching at that state championship games. I know I'm looking for some of the matchups. I've been looking at, of course, I see Matt Dolphins, the
Yeah.
10U. I think that 10U is going to be a
Very competitive.
powerhouse.
Yeah.
I like my guys over at PTE 13U,
Oh wow.
PTSG. Yeah, those guys. Hey, Terrence can
Yeah.
coach his butt off. His coaching staff. Same thing
Yeah.
with Mike. We got some coaches here in Piedmont that some up and coming coaches. We got some mixed with some veteran staff. So I think that that's the thing, right? I told the first thing I said the first meeting of the year after I came back from my 2-week break. I said, back to the basics. Back to the basics. That's what I want to get back to, so that we can give these kids and our associations, a great product, and that starts with our leadership from the top up. It starts with the coaching. So really, just getting back to the basics, being able to. But I believe that how our local championships are, they already going to
Right.
be fire. But I think that same atmosphere is going to be traveling down to Charlotte for our state. So it's going
Man,
to be fun. But
it's all.
no
It's all.
brooms, no brooms.
It's all. But you know what, man? It's always a great atmosphere, man. Whenever Winston-Salem, Piedmont gets together with the Greater Charlotte, and it's always a great experience, man. I love it. It's very competitive. I can't remember. I can't remember if I can't remember if we ever had any altercations, or anything like that. It's always, it's tense, competitive, but it's a fun family type atmosphere. And we love the competition within the state. Now, what do you think about the new structure though, with the D1 going straight to Florida? Does that kind of make them not so competitive because they're not going through that gauntlet?
Right.
You
Now
know what I
we
mean?
punishing D2, man. D2 still got the gauntlet to go through. I I understand the concept for some of it, but I don't know. I still I'm iffy. I got to see it play out because I don't know how it's going to water. Because again, especially the Atlantic region, you're gonna get we weed out, because it is a gauntlet. So I want to know how we do fare. I think that with the teams that I know of in our D1, I think they got a great chance. I think they really are true D1 teams that's probably
Right.
going to be competing. But across the country, I don't know how that's going to fare when we get down because we don't never want that drop off at nationals. We don't want a team that didn't go through regionals. They made it, and then all of a sudden they're getting blown out at during
Mm.
nationals
First
by
round.
30 points. Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's why I said we'll see. But I do think that it's some teams that really deserve to go. And let's face it, if you make it through the Atlantic region, chances are you're going to be in the national championship game or win.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's really the when you get down to the facts of it. So I think that we're going to have a lot of. I think we're going to bring back more hardware between D1 and D2 this year in North Carolina than we have in any other year. I really
Right.
have a feeling.
That's strong.
I really have that feeling. Hopefully Piedmont, Winston will have a couple of them, but I do know that I think that Charlotte, GTFC, Reese out there at SEC, I know CAA 12U, they got a nice squad. I think
Yeah.
that we got some great teams that really have a chance because it's been a while. I think the last time we won one in Charlotte was Stanley Junior Pee Wee. Was it Pee Wee?
Yeah.
Junior Pee Wee. Yeah, I think. And
Them
again, we
joints
did. Yeah, it was Junior Pee Wee, and I think for us, it was the last one we won was Greg. Was in Durham. He was out of Durham, and that was like, man, that was pre-COVID. And then of
Yeah.
course GTFC got the last couple
Yeah.
with PT and a couple of their squads and the Dark Horses. But no, it's going to be, hey, man, I want y'all to come out. And again, I love what y'all doing with the line. I think that, continue to bridge that gap. That's one of the reasons why I think Mo still has been around along with myself, along with you guys, bridging that gap, sharing that knowledge, trying to see it from both sides, from the young and the older, but really trying to bridge that gap because that's the other piece because I might understand what somebody is saying or trying to do that's younger than one of my counterparts, and you try to bridge that gap to make it successful, to make them
Right.
understand. Because honestly, I don't know how many more years I got left on the local level, but I look at like who's the next up to take the reins. Who's
Right.
gonna take it here in Piedmont. So it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. So make sure you leave. When you get the call that ODL on the line sports media is coming in, man, I want you to open the door for us. All we want to do is sit down and have these type of conversations with some of your people, so we can help bridge that gap and kind of bring you make youth football great again if we can, or just gain gain that in my Donald Trump voice.
So Booker, what you asking for access to the game?
Hey, Book,
I
y'all
got.
got full access.
No,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
Booker, we don't go for a cool million. We want to get to Florida.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you come to Florida. Hey, look, I'll give up. I got a couple of connections. I believe I can get you a media pass.
No, he the plug, man. Look, he got a lot of pull. Look, he being real modest, man. But he rides around. He rides around with all the any type of paraphernalia. All the gear, all the merch. He got his golf cart. You know what I'm saying? He got all the pull, man. So
Hey, man, I'm just ready. But if you come and let me know, we'll get you some media passes. I think I can get you that.
Hey, Reg, do me one favor before you go, man.
What's up?
I don't want it to be a friend of yours. Just give me a shout out to one coach in your area that's doing it the right way.
Yeah.
Who is he? And don't give me the friend guy. Give me the guy that you probably really don't know that well.
And you ain't offending nobody, but
I just asked for one. I didn't ask for the best.
Yeah. You know what though? I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give a shout out to Antonio Kelly, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because he went up, right? He went up, and now he's going back down. But he's been around, and I can tell he's been working on this craft. And I think that he partnered up with a younger coach.
Who's he with? What organization is he with?
He's with the Louisville Titans now. He was with the Indians.
Okay.
a while back, and then he's been with the Titans. But they came together and they made it down to regionals. I think they lost by, but he's not the head coach. He's the assistant coach. But he partnered up with Crowell, and Crowell's a little younger, But I think that what I saw with that coaching staff, that you talking about different personalities. I look at that coaching staff, and they got a lot of different personalities, and Crowell does a great job, but I think Kelly has just been there. He's got that experience, and he's really one of those coaches that I was talking about, bridging the gap. Trying to make sure that those, and he think he's young, but he's really not that young. I tell him that. So, but I think that's one. And it's a handful that I see. It's a coach. Can I give one more? Coach Dennis for the Ducks. I'm sorry. One.
He
Coach
just
Dennis
did.
for the Ducks. Yeah. Hey, look. Hey, ask for forgiveness later, right, Coach? Hey, look.
Right.
Hey.
I like that.
Hey, Coach Dennis for the Ducks. Real humble guy. Again, somebody that I see that's passionate about the game, passionate about our league, someone that went down for the first time, I think, last year to nationals and volunteered and came back, he's really been putting in work. His teams always get better. Me and him had a conversation a while back, and we was just talking about like all-stars and how we can make our all-star teams better. Because, again, we have so much talent that don't make it out of, regionals or whatnot. And we can compete for a national championship with all-stars. So salute to Coach Dennis also. But
Now you know, I'm gonna get a phone call and be like, Booker, Red, Booker, Red's got on your show, man. And he ain't mentioned nothing about the Indian Booker. I don't like that. You know who that is.
Hey, Book, you doing pretty good with that impression. I'm gonna tell you.
But Book, you the one that did it. You started off with the Indians. Hey, look, when you think about PYFL, the Indians is one of our long term. Hey, look, man, Nard, I tell you what, Nard Green is one of those guys that helps me out when it comes to stuff that I gotta get done behind the scenes when it comes to our trophies, rings, all that great stuff.
Yeah.
He keeps me in the know on a lot of things, but that's again somebody who like when I came in, he's been doing this for a while. Hall of Famer too. Yeah, Hall of Famer now.
Definitely a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, Hall of Famer. Him and his wife, Miss Green. Now, Miss Green is my right hand.
Absolutely.
I can't do anything without Miss Green. She keeps me straight. So
they influence me, man. The Indian family, Miss Green and doggone Nard, man. If it wasn't for them, man, I don't think I would have pushed as hard as I did. But when I met them, man, and I came into that atmosphere down there in Winston-Salem with them guys, and they embraced us like family, man. They took me in, like I was family, man, and they showed me how competitive Winston-Salem football was. I swear to you.
And Book, I'll tell you this. Nard, look, I try to eat clean, man, but when I go down to Waterworks, he got this plate for me, man, and he got everything on there. I'm like, man, that's why, hey, look, I can't get rid of it, man. He said, he got the plate ready.
Hey, he make you eat. He'll let you taste it first. Booker, come over here, boy, and taste these ribs. All I want you to do is taste them, Booker. Next thing you know, you got a plate of fish, and you got ribs, and you got everything, boy. Boy, I love Nard, man. So, yeah, man, so it was nice having you, man. And like I said, we're gonna pull up on the Piedmont organization, man, to do some media things, man. And we appreciate, you opening the door.
Man. Hey, look, as a matter of fact, Book, if you ain't busy, you can come up Saturday to Wake Forest, man. We got a coaches clinic, man. We have over 250 coaches in attendance.
Wow.
Do some training, do some team. We got Wake Forest concussion, leading some stuff up. And
when are you doing that?
High school coaches. This Saturday, 9:00.
This Saturday, 9:00, and what's the location?
I'll shoot you the info.
Shoot me the info, man, because I love to sit in on that, do some media stuff to show everybody what you guys are doing to help improve all of your coaches and improve the entire Piedmont organizations. And yeah, I would love to do that.
Hey, man, well, I appreciate y'all. Hey, guys, it's been my honor. Thank y'all so much for having me. I don't even feel like I'm worthy to share the screen with y'all, man. I tell you.
Nah, man. Hey, cut it out, man. We appreciate you, Reg, man. Take care, man. Have a good weekend.
Do the same.
All right, bro.
Yep.
All right.
I mean, I never seen Reg talk junk. I mean, no, I see him talk junk.
You said talk junk.
Now he talk junk, but I never seen him angry, man. It's a good guy.
No, man, he's
I must have
very
missed that.
he's a very level-headed guy, man, and he's very rational, and he's a real good guy. That's why I wanted to kind of talk to him and kind of see, show people the other side of him. Sometimes they don't get to see him in this capacity. So I definitely like to. That's why I wanted to have him on. But what's up with you guys?